So, longtime viewers and listeners know that I love lifting up my own people, of course, lifting up everybody. But of course, my Black women, I do. I love my Black women. I came from Black women. Um, and, I was talking to actually one of my Black female friends the other day who is over 50. I literally for real, had this conversation. She's re entering the workforce after leaving a long time situation. And so we're talking about how that goes. Well, this person, all about that. We're talking about that. Let's we're gonna have a great conversation too. So let's first give you a little bit about her. She's a former general counsel and corporate secretary, seasoned executive. Okay, folks. And she's also a graduate of Howard University. I love it. Of Law, School of Law, like that. In 2020, she co-founded, along with two other Howard Law alum, an organization called the Initiative to Advancing Blue and Black Partnership. The initiative, which I come from a law enforcement family, so I like that. And just for you guys to know at home, the initiative was established to implement a collaborative approach, obviously between both sectors, obviously. In short, she continues to serve on the boards for Law Enforcement Action Partnership, LEAP, a nonprofit dedicated to improving policy outcomes. Yes, 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 yes. And multiple interactive learning objectives, which is called MILO, which produces simulations and trainings for law enforcement. Yes, yes, yes. In 2023, Nadine was recognized by the NLADA for her work with the initiative and was awarded the 2023 Exemplar Award. Congratulations. She's also, that's a few things she's done, but here's some more stuff she's done. There's more. She's also reviewed each executive order issued by the current Trump administration and provides corporate insights for busy professionals from a pragmatic perspective, which I like that very much. And that's what we're talking policies, trainings, procedures, all kinds of stuff. Okay. Now, she's the founder of the General Counsel Support Services. And of course, underneath the video, we're gonna show you where to go. We're gonna talk about that, of course, which provides businesses with accessible top tier, of course, legal compliance expertise. Um, just on a side note, she's also a single mom or 50. I don't know how she does that because I raised my children when I was younger and I'm tired. In the middle of all of that, she's my guest today. I'm so happy to have her, Miss Nadine Jones, Esquire. Hi, Nadine.
Oh, thank you. Hello. Hello. What a wonderful intro.
All for you. All for you. Um, First of all, we're talking because I know it's a touchy subject. Just really briefly, I'll get into this about law enforcement, Black communities. So I've been on both sides of it. I have had police stuff happen to me, but I also come from strong, good law enforcement people in my family. So I've done both. How did you get into that portion of like law and outreach?
So it was 2020. Let me back up. I have a Black son, and the other two co-founders are mothers of Black sons and daughters, but sons as well.
Yes.
And the first shock to our system was Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia. Actually, it wasn't George Floyd.
Right.
It was the jogging. And as a parent, especially as a mother of a Black child, you're always trying to anticipate where you need to be, aware of threat. So everybody has the talk when they start driving or if they're at the mall and they get pulled over. So you try to anticipate, where the threat might come from. But jogging, that was a shock.
Right.
And before we could even process that, George Floyd happened in May. I think Ahmaud was February and George was May of 2020. And all of the discussion was about policy, was about we should revoke their immunity and what legislation and what. And as parents, we're like, that's all well and good, but that doesn't help my Black son right now, boots on the ground. It's all about relationship, and it's about humanizing each other. And I confess or admit that I went into it thinking about law enforcement in a certain way, in a caricature way of brutal, harsh, not liking Black people. And there are those like that.
Mm.
But most of the law enforcement who we ended up working with, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful, very professional.
Yes.
Noble was excellent. National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, white police chiefs in the South, wonderful human beings who care about the people that they're serving. So it actually was a learning experience for me to stop othering people. And the only way to get to know another group is to get to know another group. And we came up with some wonderful initiatives. We ran out of money. You know, the grant money ran dry and we couldn't re-up on that. And my company had put me on loan for just 6 months. Not just, I mean, that's a significant investment, but they paid my salary, benefits, whatever. And I didn't do a stitch of work for them. All I did was focus on the initiative. And we built some pretty useful tools. And that was why we gave birth to that. So I spoke before, not Congress, a state legislature, and I told them what the talk was, and they're like, "What is that?" Like, okay,
Right.
you're gonna get a little peek into what Black families have been teaching their children for many generations. They
Yes.
were truly, they'd
Yeah.
never heard of having the talk.
I'm sure.
And we made a decision to make it a narrative and not go in there with we need more policy or we don't need that policy. It was more like we're going to tell you a story. And transformative experience, I have to say. Really, it was.
I'm a big fan of, I'm a very practical person. So I'm also one of those people who's like, okay, yes, there's emotional stuff that goes on, but what we're gonna do right now? What are we gonna do now? What's gonna happen now? What can we do now? What can we do to affect change now? That's always been the way I have been.
Yes.
I've been that kind of activist my whole entire life. I come from parents who are hippies, who are all about being present, being now, being of the earth. It was always about just like, let's bring it back to the earth. Let's bring it back to your feet on the ground. So later, when my parents both went into law enforcement for LAX police here at LAX, and both retired from there, my father passed away a couple years ago as a very celebrated, decorated Navy man and policeman. My mom, police airport dispatcher, 33 years. I saw the other side too, because all I knew was like being pulled over, thrown against cars. You know, I know all that stuff, and I didn't do anything wrong. I got a million stories of that. But then I saw the other side where they really were there to protect and serve. And so so my whole thing was, well, what can we do in outreach so we're back to just that, to protecting and serving, right?
Well, you know what I did learn, and this isn't my insight, it was one of our vendors. We partnered with a number of organizations that just gave us training like in kind. And this one was a polarity partnership. And Barry Johnson, I don't even know if he's still working with them. He said, when you see someone, the natural human response that follows is love. So to see someone means afterwards you will have an empathy and you will love them. Very simple sentence. Like I think he said to see is to love. I'm like, oh, okay, I see a lot of things I don't love. You know what I mean?
Right.
Quite a bit of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what he meant, and this is how I took it, was to really get like an insight into an other, somebody that you've othered. And what will follow, you'll probably, I guess it's human nature, is you're going to find common ground within yourself. Oh, okay, I can understand that. I can get that. You don't know what is coming next on the service call. It could be the cat's up a tree. It could be a violent domestic violence, situation. And I get it. Your nervous system is jacked up, and I can, okay, let's see how we can make you well so that you can police my Black son well. And then it evolved into, let's just make you well as another human being. So it was a whole spectrum of learnings that I've kept. I mean, it's only 5 years out, but it definitely shaped how I look at the world, how I regard others. I actually left a church that I was in at the time. I found it was too much othering. and it made me uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable. I never felt any real discomfort before, but I now knew better, and that was not who I wanted to be. I did not want to go that route. And so I just gradually, hoping nobody would notice, just ease myself out of that church. Beautiful people.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong, just not who I wanted to be.
I like that.
So yeah, that was the initiative.
Well, as we ease us into employment, job, law stuff, I want to kind of remind some folks who are listening, watching, or people who don't even know this. When I first got into the workforce, it was the 80s. So when I got to the workforce, no matter what age you were, if you were Black, there were a lot of restrictions still. There were certain jobs I didn't get because I was Black. There are certain jobs I didn't advance in. They told me personally, if we advance you in this position, it changes the face of our company to something urban, the new word they were using.
Wow.
Oh, I got tons of stories. And then, but back then, there was nothing in place to protect me. There's things in place now, or came later. But there were certain things at the time in the mid 80s or later, there just was not, I didn't even know fully how to even, I had to make money. I had a kid, I had things to do, I had to make money. So
Right.
I figured things out later. But my whole point was that in many situations I was in, Nadine, I was the only Black this, or the first Black that, only person of color this, or in companies. I did corporate. So, I mean, I broke a lot of ceilings by being hired. That taught me a lot because there were folks that were not all bad. And
Right.
and some of my bosses who were not Black taught me a lot of I learned lessons from everybody, obviously, right? But I had some bosses who were not Black who saw something in me in advance and just said, James, look, just keep going. I'm going to push for you. So that's what taught me then that, we'll get to know each other. And again, back to the practical nature, I can do the job. I'm a fast learner. I'm all the things you want in an employee. That's the best part, no matter what race I am. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
always shows he comes to work on time. And so that taught me to be even more practical when I became a boss and was high. So it's like you, it's like I learned some stuff because I had one way going into it.
Absolutely.
So like we said, you learn about other people. Like we're all kind of similar in many ways. Like we all like pizza. It sounds funny, right?
Yes. There's a common baseline, and I can totally relate to that. Most of my mentors were white men.
Funny.
I've had Black women mentor me, but most of my mentors are white men. They just saw something and invested. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
right? Whether it was public speaking, whether it was, oh, I think this position would be good for you. Why don't you apply? Whether it was, join me on this meeting,
Mm-hmm.
big time meeting, whatever, downtown and New York. And I remember I was at one meeting. It was at Rockefeller Center.
Ooh,
It was and I'm the only woman, and of course the only Black, right?
yeah,
It's just
right.
all
Yeah.
men. And we took a break. So it was an all-day marathon meeting, and we took a break. And so the gentleman who was hosting us, he it was funny. He told the men where to go for the men's room. And then he looks at me, he's like, oh my gosh, Nadine, I don't even know where the ladies' room is. I'm like, it's okay, no problem. I found the receptionist out front. It's
Okay.
a woman. And she showed me how to get to the bathroom.
Yes.
So that's a little bit of a detour there, but I've had blessed with great experience, wonderful mentors. My former CEO at my last job, he was such a support. So if you have a space where you feel safe by somebody with power, that's critical. And all of my mentors have been powerful white men in their spaces. The ones that I'm talking about here, the white men. They have to have some kind of heft, and then no one's going to mess with you. You know what I mean? Like, even if you stumble, you say the wrong thing, you do the wrong thing, you're free, you have a freedom and a safety to just learn from the misstep, because you're surrounded by a very formidable and respected person within the organization, whether it's a law firm or whether it's, at a corporation. And I have been very fortunate to have mostly that. Has it always
Mm,
been?
mm,
No,
right.
no, you have to be. And I was just telling somebody that I haven't been in the corporate space for 8 months now, 9 months now. And I'm like softer.
Right. No, right. No, right. Yeah, right.
I'm softer. Like, I'm much more like domestic. And, oh, we need a new paint job. I'm just noticing things. And it's because I don't have to be in that energy where I'm just like ready to rumble if you come at me the wrong way.
Right.
And I don't
Oh,
think I was combative, but I never felt safe enough to be soft. And then when you're running the legal department and you sometimes have to give difficult news to people or correct certain behaviors, and I didn't care. I didn't care if you were a floor worker at a warehouse, or if you were sitting with me in the board. I was the first Black person on the company's board. Um, if I had to check you, I would, because my client, of course, was the company, and
yeah.
certain behaviors created certain risk. Not a lot of issues, but I was not as soft as I am now. So that's the whole challenge for when I re-enter, and I do plan to re-enter, and I'm looking to re-enter the corporate space. What environment am I going to need in order to be the new me? Because I don't want to go back to the old me, right? I love to mentor. I love to develop. I don't really want to be combative. I want to influence and persuade, and I like to collaborate. So is there a space for me
Yeah.
at that high level?
Yeah.
And once you're general counsel,
I
that's the
know.
NFL of
Right. I
the
know.
yeah, yeah. There's
All right.
nowhere else really to go.
Yeah. No, and just one thing I want to say about the thing you said in the past, I'd actually say you taught that guy something also by not knowing where the female bathroom was, where his bathroom was. He learned something that day too. Yeah. Think about it that way. He learned
True.
something that he did. He
True.
learned something that day too. How it affected him, I don't know, but I know he learned something that day too. Like, wait a minute, there's a female in here. You're speaking to men all the time.
So
Um,
used to speaking with men. When I first joined the board, if I could jump in,
yeah.
they would have like 5 minute breaks, bathroom breaks, and 5 minutes. Who in the world goes to the bathroom in 5 minutes? I mean, like, it's getting a little bit too personal now, I know, but
We can. I'm like, I mean, we can as men, yes.
it's the little things. Like, who does that, right? You do that if you're not used to having women on your board, and I guarantee we need more than 5 minutes.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We don't. We're good. We can do that. That's actually hilarious. But here's the thing. So talking to my friend about this because she's a black woman at a major company for the last like 30 years, over 50, now back in the workplace. Um, and I said to her myself, because I'm an entrepreneur, so I said I haven't looked for a job in 25 years. I mean, I have not looked for a job. I have not put a resume out to you. I don't have a resume. I mean, I guess I have one somewhere, but like I have not done that. And I couldn't imagine. I'm almost 60. I couldn't imagine looking for a job right now. But there are people who are, and she is one of them looking for a job, and she's that stuff. But I want to say something also about that too. I'm in the entertainment business, so I'm always selling myself on some level to get something, whether it's an interview or access to a red carpet or whatever. And you are absolutely 1,000% correct. You need people who have heft, folks, in the business who are not black, who will co-sign for you. That's so true. I have a couple people in this business who have the name, the awards, the respect, and they always take me with them. and I am forever grateful to them. And I mean, there's like 4 or 5 people I can name, think of my mind right now, who even my colleagues go, "Oh, he always calls on you for this, or he's always bringing you to that, or he puts you in his shows or his movie." Like, but these folks, they're like names. They're not just somebody mid level, just like yeah, we don't kind of know who they are. These people, everybody, if I've said a few names, you know who they are. And it's just kind of, but that's so true, because in this world, unfortunately, you need that. That
Yes.
kind of, yes, we know what we can do. We know we're good. We have. I mean, I have a doctorate. We all got degrees and shit. We all got that stuff. That is good on some level for marketing and for the actual work. It means you're ready, but it's still about marketing. And you need that mentor that has that, who can
Yes.
just open a door, but like,
And access. Yes.
yep.
Access. You need that access. I mean, I have a wonderful Black woman who's my mentor. What I get from her is encouragement and like almost like restorative validation when it's like, oh, I can't take it anymore. And that encouragement, and I see you, and just, breathe. And also sound advice. But in terms of opening doors and showing me what's what in this space that I have no precedent for. I'm the first college graduate in my family, first law degree. I did well at Howard, went into like a white shoe firm. Half of the stuff they said, I didn't even know the language. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how we spoke.
Right.
I remember one time I did an interview, and my partner, the partner at the firm, asked me, "Did you get any pushback?" And I'm like, "Pushback? Pushback? Yeah, like, did anyone, resist what you were saying that they didn't want to do?" I'm like, oh, yeah, pushback. Yeah, no, everything's fine.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I know. Said word. Yes.
Yeah, that's not language that we used when growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in order to navigate these spaces, another example, when the senior partner at the firm said he was having a barbecue for the summer associates, I thought barbecues were flip-flops and like cut off jeans.
Yeah.
No, this was catered.
Oh.
And with servers.
Oh, okay.
And it was like fine cuisine, albeit outside, but it was just beautiful and very elegant. Thankfully, I didn't wear flip-flops, but I would have. I really would have, So you just need someone to, and I'm good friends with him to this day, actually.
I love it. I love it.
I adore that man. You need someone to show you what this world looks like and how to move in it, even if you're just kind of watching them, to emulate and see how they're moving in this space. And we're better now, but they're not enough, or not a lot of Black women at that level.
True.
But there's more than we had before.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're some of your greatest allies. Those who will teach you will be white men.
Mm-hmm.
White men. And not to get political, but the white men who have mentored me, if you ask them if they were threatened by DEI, they would like laugh in your
Same here. No, same here.
What?
Right.
These are men at the top of their game. You know what I mean?
I see.
There's no threat. They know who they are, and they know that they're brilliant.
Yes.
There's no threat. There's no threat.
I agree with that too. Mine too. And I do also say, folks at home, I do have and some of you guys know at home, I have a circle of Black folks that we are all doing the same business. We all support each other's shows. I'm kind of the oldest one, so I kind of became the mentor somehow. I was young and tender once, and now I'm the old guy in the corner, espousing wisdom, I guess, or something. So I'm kind of I don't have a mentor older than me that's Black. Most of them kind of died off. They all kind of died off. But I remember what they said. So I remember what they said. So I passed it on to my brethren, who are, and no, you're right. We're there to say, I see you, I feel you,
Yes.
we feel low. What's your show? Make sure I'll post it to my page. Like we do that. So I know. So I do have to make sure I do people. I have my Black folks, and that stuff. Okay, so going in now, just morphing into this. Re-entering the world after 50. I just don't tell me I mean, what is it like? I mean, she's having a hard time. I know it's a hard time, period. There's a lot of people looking for jobs. And,
Yes.
and the one thing that I think about for myself, if I were to enter back into that world, I know what I'm worth, or feel I know what I'm worth. I have a lot of experience, life and work experience. I know what I was paid before. um, so I just wonder, because if I would feel like all of that would go into my decision making and feelings about jobs. And I
Absolutely.
just wondered. My question to you is like would even does it even match up with what's going on out there? I have no idea. You have to educate me, please. I have no idea.
I gotta tell you, these job searching streets is they're not easy.
Oh, I'm sure.
For a number of reasons, right? So I'm 54, right?
Okay.
And I do know my worth.
Right.
And I do know what works for me and I know what doesn't work for me. And so I'm not as moved by money alone.
Yeah.
And I'm not as moved by title alone. And
Right.
I'm not as
Yes.
moved by money and title alone.
Mhm.
Who I'm working with, what the mission is, whether or not there's any, greater objective. It doesn't have to be a nonprofit, but it could be certainly a for-profit. But is
Yeah.
there a greater mission and objective? Like those are the things that move me, along with, your worth in terms of salary and benefits and title
And
and so
time.
forth,
And
and
time.
time. So it's kind of like this push-pull thing where I can't just run into any company because you're getting someone with experience, but the setup is not right for me to flourish. And I now know better what I need to flourish, right? And then you have invitations, like I'm doing work through the consulting work,
Okay.
where it moves you, and I'm excited about the projects, but the consulting work is like up here one
Yeah.
day, down
Yes.
there.
Yes. Yes.
And so all I can say is I don't think a cookie cutter application um, is going to work for me. And I'm applying. I do apply at jobs that look, interesting. Um, I almost feel like I might have to create something new or almost bespoke, like tailor fit it a little bit,
Okay.
and be given the leeway to be able to tailor fit something to who I am now at this age after 20 something years in this legal profession. And I am good. I am good. I've got good judgment and I see people well. But it's not everyone that I want to work for or with.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
I believe it.
It's not.
Mhm.
And then, so for your friend who's going back into the job market, networking is going to be key for her, because the positions at her level, by the time you're looking at it on LinkedIn or Indeed or whatever platform you're looking at, with all of these bots, they have bots now reviewing your resumes.
I
You know
know.
what I mean?
She said that. She said that. She found that out the other day.
Yeah. You got to go through AI so that AI writes a resume that the bot can identify the
Mhm.
keywords and advance your resume. I mean, like there's no touch.
I know, it's so crazy. She was telling me, she goes, yeah, because I had an interview after going through a series of bots that kept pushing me through. Then I had an interview that wasn't even face to face; it was on the phone, kind of. And they were like, she goes, I think it went okay. And then they're like, well, you might have to come and do a presentation at some point. And also, she's like, for this, and it's not even paid. She looked at this pay and went, it's half of what I was making. She's like,
Right.
so never mind. Like, I'm good. But she's recognizing there is no more of that. Just walk into a building and hi, I want a job. That's just gone.
No. And you don't even have humans really reviewing it. And yes, to advance to that level, you're using, sometimes you have to make your own video
Yeah.
and they'll tell you what to answer or what questions, and
Yep.
so you gotta, make sure you're like looking okay. And
Right.
it's a very different world than when I was when I left law school in 2003 and
Wow.
joined the law firm, and then when I found this job in Jersey City in 2012. Very, very, very different. Um, but in any case, I feel like at our age, in the over 50 for your friend and myself, you do what you have to do, of course, to take care of your family,
Yeah.
but it's going to be hard to fit into something that's confined when you have grown as a
Yeah.
person.
Yes.
You've
Yes.
grown.
Yeah.
You've grown and you see things differently. You experience the world differently. Um, and I don't know if our well-being, because eventually it will grind on you to be confined into a role that doesn't encompass or allow you to be all that you can be and who
Right.
you are. It will eventually weigh on you, I think, or on me. So I don't know the path forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really don't know. I might have to create something new, and maybe it will be this consulting business. But I do want to return to the corporate world. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, no, there's some benefits to it. No, I think our conversations are very real conversations. On this show, we always have real conversations. It's like we don't always have the answers, folks. You know that, but it's just discussions about, just like if you hear something she's saying that resonates, you're like, yeah, I do know, I do think of things differently now, and maybe that'll help unlock something for you because there are people starting businesses in their 50s all the time. People are they're doing entrepreneurship. All it doesn't, they're never too old, never too late, never. So she may be saying something to you at home. And you're like, I'll do it myself. I've always wanted to do this, so I'm gonna do this myself. And I mean, that's something. Or you might say, she's right. Maybe I should lower some of my expectations in a good way, not to a part where it's soul sucking, but like maybe my expectations are too high because I want this. So I mean, it's not gonna look like that exactly, maybe, and it might be okay because I'm like you. Titles, you can give anybody a title. Okay, you're director of this, or you're a manager. Like anybody can have a title, but you learn after a while that's good for your resume. That's good for marketing, but in real life, it doesn't. Nobody cares.
True.
Yeah,
You're a little
right,
over
right. Nobody
here.
cares. It's the work. The work you do is what they care about. It's like the titles are just like they're a dime a dozen. I can make a title. I'm CEO and founder of blah blah blah. Everybody's CEO and founder of blah blah blah. I mean, nobody cares. But what do you do? What is it you're doing? So, like when I read your resume, I think the things you've done, the things you've created, that to me stands out more than just your titles.
It's just the title.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like that's the important part.
That is important, although money is tied to the title. And so,
Yeah, no, it is. I know.
so for some women, especially if I could play the woman card,
Please,
sometimes they don't want to give you the title.
I know. I know.
Sometimes they don't want to give the woman the title.
I know.
And money is tied to that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And even if you leave, so if you leave this company, let's say, and they haven't given you the title, you did the work, you're brilliant, wonderful, but for whatever reason, they decided to change the titles. We're not going to do those titles anymore.
Yes.
Be mindful that there is a monetary impact. So when you go to another company and they ask, what your title was before, they see it on your resume, then the expectation is, okay, we can start you here instead of starting you here. I mean, there's not any one, it all kind of works in a comprehensive
Yes.
like way.
Yeah.
But it starts with something that you even said, you just have to know your worth. You need to know your worth, know your value, and just say, guys, I'm bringing a lot more to the table than what you think. And maybe this is not the right fit. If that's what you're looking for, I wish you well. Good luck. Like, you just have to kind of know your worth. And I'm optimistic still. optimistic.
Yeah.
You know, I was saying to somebody else that there are others, you know, when you see the gray in their hair for men, they're in their prime. You know, and they're in the prime. Yeah, you got that gray at the temple, like, ooh. For women, when we start getting that gray, yeah, you're on the other side of the mountain, my friend. You're yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
No, what you're saying, I mean, it is true. And I think it's the whole thing is, folks at home, it's just that there's always hope. I know it sounds corny. It sounds weird. It's all about sometimes stamina and steadfastness and consistency. You just keep looking, keep going, keep believing. If you have some sort of faith, lean on your faith or your community to keep you going. But sometimes it's not going to happen tomorrow. It just isn't. It may happen 2 years from now, and that could suck because you're like, I need it to happen now. But the whole point is, I've had things come to me later when I wish I had them earlier, but I found out it was a better time it came.
Mm.
Like, oh no, now I'm really ready, or now I really need it, or now I have more time for that. I found out later, like, oh, okay, I was taught, God's always leading your direction. He has a plan for you, so it's just sit back and do your job. He's not going to give it to you. Yeah, sit back and do your job. But I'm saying, oh, so he didn't give it to me then. I thought I was ready. Maybe I wasn't quite ready yet.
Maybe you
Now
weren't
I'm ready to
ready.
receive it. Yeah, I'm ready to
You're
receive it.
right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And it could very well be that when I left corporate in January and thinking I'm just going to hop right back on the saddle, I was not ready.
No.
Not ready. Not ready. And it would have not been good had I had that happened, actually. You're absolutely right.
Well, also another thing you look at it too, Nadine, is it could be you need a break. He knew something better than you did. He's like thinking, she needs a break from all that. I know she wants to go right. I know she wants to jump right in. Because you're like me, we're overachievers. You know how it is. We're like, I'll just jump right in and do it. Like, but no, she's a break. And maybe there's some lessons you needed to learn these last 8 months that will prepare you for that job that comes on through. And you're like, yeah,
Coming next.
I'm ready. You know what I mean? I have to learn that. I had to learn that too. I had to learn how to shut up. I mean, I literally, folks, I say it all the time on my shows, you gotta learn how to shut up because sometimes you're talking so loud about your stuff that you're not listening to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to shut up. My own
Mm-hmm.
brain to shut it up. And then stuff starts to come and it starts to roll in. And it seems so natural when it's happening. You're like, wow, this is amazing. That's why I got out of the way.
That I'll have to update you when things start
No, I
rolling
want
in.
no, we're not done. I want to know what's going on. And when you get that job, I want you to come back on the show and talk about it. No, seriously, I do. I
Okay.
think it's, but it's one. But seriously, I think the whole thing is, and why I have you on the show is to show people that we're real people in real time, dealing with real stuff over in our 50s and plus. This is real life, folks. She's living a real life. And how old is you have one son, you have other children? Like, what's your
I
deal?
have one son. He's 14. He'll be 15 in November. I had him a little bit later, so he's going through the teens and I'm going through menopause. Not a great combination, really. I didn't think that through, obviously. Um, if I could be so frank.
I love it. I love it. Oh my God. Yeah.
um, but post pandemic for him was awful.
Oh wow.
Once we emerged, mental health challenges,
Oh yeah.
it was really awful. And a lot of parents, we talk about it amongst ourselves, but those who were not in that space, there was a whole other epidemic happening.
Yes.
And that was the pediatric mental health space. And it was devastating. It was absolutely devastating. And we are now emerging from that 5 years later, where he's his old self again,
Okay.
laughing, this. And so again, something you said, Nadine, you may not realize it, but maybe you needed the break. You didn't even know what my family went through post-pandemic, 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
Until I want to say late 2024, where we start to see a light at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. I need this time, not need it, I need this time to just recover from that.
Yeah.
And I was in survival mode, literally.
Yeah.
We were in survival mode. I was in survival mode, and now I can kind of exhale a little bit. So all things work together for the good, you know, if you go to church, that's scripture. And I would not have left the company in the way that I did. We left on good terms, but I wasn't looking to leave. But there were some a global reorganization, and where I landed, I didn't, without going into too much detail, I didn't feel that suited me.
Okay.
And so we parted ways amicably. But yes, it was a tumultuous few years before that, James. Absolutely.
I believe it. I just stay present. I learned this skill 10, 15 years ago, and for my own life, and really try to honestly look at things. And because I'm basically a gig worker, we call it. I mean, I'm as good as the last gig, the next gig. This is a gig, is all whatever. So I've had to learn a lot about myself and my belief in God and all that. Just kind of how that all plays into it, and that doors don't close doors close for a reason. They're not closing on you because they're against you. They're closing to narrow down your path to the right thing. So I had to learn that also. I learned a lot of stuff. I had a lot of stuff happen to me in the last few years too. So I learned all that stuff, Nadine. I really learned it. I go, so my attitude's much better now about a lot of stuff, because I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. It's just my turn right now, or that I did really want that. I was hoping that was going to work out. I worked really hard for it to work out, and it still didn't. Or even when I remember once a couple of years ago, I was trying to fly out somewhere. And weather just kept just delaying the flights, and then they canceled the flight. And I was like, why am I trying so hard to get to this place? I canceled the whole thing. Went to the place later, because it wasn't even like I was just leaving town to go somewhere and visit some people, but like it wasn't that dire. It was just like, I guess I'm not meant to go. And then 3 months later, I was able to go, and it was much easier and smoother, and it was great. I just learned that there's a reason why I'm not going. I don't know what it is, but you got to stop by and lean into it. Like, okay, got it. If you have to try too hard, it's a problem.
To make it happen, to make it
Right.
work, it's a problem.
That's a life lesson.
That is a good one.
Hard. So I'm gonna try to stay present and learn all this stuff, and just take anything you want, Nadine.
Well, thank you. Hey, send me your bill, your therapy bill. Send it to me.
Well, I start uplifting my Black women. No, I know it's folks at home, and it's being over 50 is we're living longer. Yeah, many of us are in that sandwich generation where I got an aging parent taking care of, and I have grown children and grandchildren. Plus, I have my own life. Some of us are single parents who are still had kids later and are raising them, and also trying to have a life of your own also. Some are recovering from a change of life situation, whether it's widowhood or divorce or illness, major illness, or all kinds of stuff happens, relocation, all kinds of stuff. And so I think that's why I love doing this show, because I want to show you that we are real people who go through real stuff, but we're going to survive. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. That's kind of my hope as I end, because I can talk to you all day long, but after the end of the show, no one's going to watch a 5-hour podcast. I wish they would, but they wouldn't. But that's the whole point, is that we're gonna make it after all, and it's going to happen on its timetable. That's when it's going to happen. General Counsel Support Services. So go to gcsupportservice.com with some consultant. In the meantime, she's here and ready to work for you. That's for her General Counsel Support Services. Miss Nadine, thank you for being on the show.
Oh, thank you. So much fun. Thank you so much.
You'll be back. She'll be back, folks. We're gonna follow her stuff. So when she get that job, that perfect job, then she'll come back to the show and tell us how it happened.
Yes, I will.
50 Plus is everywhere you want it to be. It's on all streaming service platforms. It's on my YouTube channel, JLJ Media. And of course, you can follow me on all the socials. And I think I'm now following you, I think, on LinkedIn. But I'm on there too. I'm on LinkedIn, folks. I post stuff on there all the time. And I'm here for you. If you have any questions or any topics you want me to talk about, please come to me. Because I said we're a large population. That's 50 plusers. We are a large population, and I want to help serve all of us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Jim.